Welcome back, everyone. Today we'll be taking a look at Alibaba and NIO. Before we begin, remember take a second to give the video a like and subscribe to stay updated with the market. Do note that I do not provide any buy or sell calls, but focus on potential traps set up by the market makers. Without further ado, let's take a look at 9988. So you can see that 9988 had a good week. In fact, it ended the week near the high, above the $100 psychological support level. So that is a good sign. You can see that because of the good news for the Chinese market, there was a good volume coming in, followed by a very nice looking bullish engulfing candle. So as of now, this is a good sign for all the markets, especially the Hang Seng index and also the Hang Seng tech index, is because we are creating a higher highs and higher lows. As of now, this is the high and this is the low. So this is considered a higher low. So what we want to achieve next is a higher high. So only then when we see this kind of wave patterns is an indication that we are on an uptrend. So that is a good indication for a potential trend reversal. But as of now, it is still early to tell unless we can create a higher high. Then that will be a good indication that we have started to a potential trend reversal. So let's take a look at what is its potential resistance and supports coming up for the next week. So just to note that if I'm not wrong, Monday is a holiday for the Hong Kong market and the US market will be open. So the Hong Kong market will only start trading on Tuesday. So let's take a look at some supports coming in. So you can see that the first resistance that we cleared was at least 50% at the $100 psychological resistance, and we actually managed to clear it. And in fact, this was also the weight baseline, which was also at near the $100 psychological support level. So the next support, next resistance rather, that we will be looking at is this 104, 105. This is a very, very critical resistance that we have to clear, because if we do clear it, then we can potentially expect more upside and we may turn bullish heading to these 111 levels, and thereafter testing this 119, 120 levels. If we are able to break out, then that's a good thing because we are creating higher high. So that is a good sign. As of now, you can see that 9988 is actually in between the clouds. So on the way up, the cloud acts as a resistance. On the way down, cloud acts as support. So you can see some struggles and some resistance along these cloud areas. As of now, the chart still looks quite good, and I do hope that we are able to hold certain support such as this baseline. This is the conversion line rather. This conversion line is at 92.50. So even if we do pull back down, this 95 should act as a good support, and this 92.50 should also act as a good support. However, if we do break down, then that is not a good sign. We have to hold some support levels in order to continue our bullish momentum. So let's see what are the potential upsides in the event that we actually break out above this 119. So if we do break out above these 119 levels, then we may be looking towards heading towards this 130 levels, where we actually will see some struggles, and we also see some resistance at these levels. But bear in mind that we have to break out above this 120 with good volume. If not, this 130 will not be even be seen at all. So let's take a look at Alibaba. So the one listed at New York is a very similar pattern. You can see that you can see some accumulation on the days before the news, and however, you can see that this candle was not as good because there was some profit taking on Friday and there was some sell on news. So that was not really a good sign. We did not really close the week pretty well, even though we were trying to hold above this 38.2%, which is just above this 98. So this is a very critical $98 support that we have to hold, or at least go back up above it on Monday itself. Not forgetting, we actually created a gap as well, and this gap was somewhere. This high was 1998, so that's about $91, and this low was around 96. So we still have about $5 to $6 gap that needs to be closed. So we may potentially go back down first before heading back up once again. So where exactly am I potential resistance watching for BABA? So you can see this 50% is at 103 levels. So this is a resistance that we did not clear on Friday itself, and the next resistance to watch will be at 107, 108. Do bear in mind that this 108 is once again haunting its investors, and this particular counter, you can remember that this 108 was 108, 110 was tested many times. So this support actually turned resistance, and now this support will likely turn into resistance. So this 108 is a very, very strong resistance that we have to break through. In the event that we do not break through, And if the downsides was to persist, then we may potentially create something like this, which is not a good sign because we may potentially create a new low if we do not form a double bottom at this 73. But as of now, it still looks fine and everything will look okay as long as we can continue this momentum up above this 108 and thereafter test this 115 and even this 124. So let's take a look at the potential upsides that we may be getting in the event that we can actually cross up this 124 level. So you can see that this is the first wave up from 73 to a high of 124. So the second wave may be looking towards this 132 levels, which is very similar to 9988 at about 130 levels, where we see some struggles and resistance here. But they're still quite far away unless we are able to punch up above this 108, 115, and then 124 before we can even see this 132 resistance being tested. As of now, there's this gap that in fact is close at around 80 to 81. So this gap is negligible. $1 to $2 is perfectly fine. And now there's another gap that needs to be closed before we can actually trend up and create higher highs and higher lows. So let's take a look at NIO. So for NIO, the week did not end very well. In fact, you can see that there was still a lot of sellers appearing, and even this resistance 17.82 did not even clear at all. You can see that it's being blocked by this first resistance and also this blue conversion line that actually blocks this particular counter from actually going higher. Furthermore, you can see that this is a very thick cloud and the cloud will act as a resistance on the way down. You can see that this cloud here act as a very, very strong resistance. So even if we do punch up, I'm afraid that 18 to 19 will be a very tough resistance for us to break through for NIO. So you can see that the potential downsides in upcoming weeks is a very high chance. You can see that this is the first wave down. So the second wave is likely for us to be heading towards to test this $14 level. And if we do not hold, then I'm afraid we will test this low of 13.01. So as of now, NIO is not too good unless we are able to perhaps break up above $19 key psychological resistance and thereafter test this $20 and $21. Then we can appear bullish. But as of now, it's still very bearish and it's likely for us to be heading to $14, $15 before testing this 13.01 support. So as of now, the Hong Kong market will be closed on Monday and the US market will be open on Monday. So the Hong Kong market will only start trading on Tuesday. So if there's any changes, I'll give you guys an update. Thanks for stopping by and don't forget to subscribe as you keep the uptrend channel intact. Till we meet again, appreciate the manipulation.